It's Ashley.
And Jason.
And we are here to talk to you about how we first met and our first date. But before we do, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to become part of the family. And if you like our content, please definitely share our videos with your friends and family to grow our channel. And with that said, we want to give you guys a special shout out. We hit our first milestone of 100 subscribers.
Thank you so much for all the support. It really helps our channel and it helps us grow, and it also gives us feedback that the content that we're putting out is adding value. So thank you so much, really appreciate it.
So thank you so much, and we can't wait to see what the future holds for this family.
With that said, let's jump into it.
So the first thing we're going to talk about is how we met. So I'm going to tell my side of the story, and then Jason's going to tell his.
Two different sides of the story.
A little bit. For me, I was a very shy person, and I would go to my mommy's group with my mom because my sister, like I said in the previous vlogs, is 19 years younger than me. So I would go and hang out with all of her friends and their kids sometimes. And I met Jason's sister-in-law through that group because our now nephew was, I think, about 1.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. And I was friends with her on Facebook and everything like that. And she was actually, when she started the group, she was pregnant with our second nephew. And I fell in love with that little boy. When he was first born, we went to visit them and everything like that. I was looking through Facebook one day and I saw a picture she posted, and it was a picture of this really handsome guy and the baby.
Wasn't he? Yeah.
And the next time we went to the mommy's group, I was like, hey, who is that guy with the baby? And she goes, oh, that's my brother-in-law. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then she literally told me, like, the next minute she said, she was like, and he's single. And I'm like,
and mingling.
oh, okay. And then, so I, being really shy and timid, I was like, okay. And I brushed it under the rug. And then she's like, I dare you to friend him on Facebook. And I did. Out of like sheer like, okay, I'm just gonna do it, to like say I did it. And not thinking anything of it, not thinking that he would like even accept the friend's request at all, anything.
I almost didn't.
Then that same night, he accepted the friend's request. And literally a month later, I'm sitting there and I'm posting random stuff on Facebook and everything, and I posted this one comment to see, girls, you know, when you're trying to get a guy to notice you and you know stuff that he likes, you're gonna like try to get him to like notice. So
you wanted me to notice that you were putting me on notice, that you noticed me and wanted you to notice you and to be noticed.
Yeah.
I get it. You get it? I get it.
Anyway, so then I posted a Facebook post, whatever you want to call it, saying one of these days I want to just stay at home and snuggle watching Star Wars. And mind you...
And then you also put hashtag El Guapo.
Inside joke. Anyways, no, I did not. And like I said, I posted that, and mind you, I do like Star Wars, but I didn't know as much as he did.
Sort of like Star Wars, is the truth.
I grew up watching them, but I wasn't like super fan of them. I knew what they were, but I didn't know like every single character and everything about it. Anyway, so then a week later happens, and we go to like a park for mommy's group, and our sister-in-law wasn't actually gonna be there. So as the mommy's group was leaving, she was pulling up, and then she goes, somebody wants to meet you. You should message him first. And
right.
I was with a couple.
I don't even know this part.
Yeah, I'm
an audience member too.
Anyways, so. I was with a couple of my friends too. A lot of my friends would come with us to the group, and they knew I was not going to write him. I was dead on, like, just saying like no, like hard pass. but they dared me.
Pass. Hard pass.
Hard pass. They dared me. I remember sitting at Chick-fil-A, literally freaking out, and they were like, write him now. And I wrote him, and
I'm him.
set up our first date at Starbucks.
Yes.
Which then ends my side of the story.
Here's what I remember. It was late one night, and it was raining. It's cold. It's a little bit sweaty. I slipped, hit my head, and I woke up to revelation. That was all I remember.
Not the story that you should be telling right now.
Where do I start? Where do I remember? Oh, okay. Okay, so here's what I remember. I remember getting the friend request on Facebook, but right before that, I'd heard Ashley's name before, and I saw the friend request. I didn't put two and two together, and I didn't recognize her, and because I'd only seen her, I think, once, but I didn't realize who she was. Then I ignored the friend request because I don't accept people I don't know. And my sister-in-law talked to me like 3 or 4 days later, and I was like, yeah, someone friend requested me, and I think they know you or something because we have a mutual connection between her and you. And she's like, oh yeah, it's this girl Ashley. I know her from our mommy's group. And I was like, okay, well, is she crazy or is she normal? What, should I accept her because usually I don't? And she's like, no, she's fine. So I was like, okay, I'll accept her. And then of course, nothing happened because I just accepted her and that was it. After that, about a couple weeks went by and I'd seen a couple posts of hers, and you know that feeling when you're swiping through, Facebook or Instagram or any kind of social media, and you see someone, on your personal account that you don't know, and you're like, why am I friends with this person? I don't even know them. Like, what? And then I was like, oh crap! Second time I did this. This is the girl that requested me that I don't know, but then I accepted her because my sister-in-law said she wasn't crazy. So I was like, okay, now I understand who this person is. So I checked out her Facebook and Instagram.
Stalked me.
And it was kind of cool because I had a chance. I'd never met her. So I had a chance to kind of get to know this person I didn't know through, her interest on Facebook and Instagram. I saw that she had interest, in Star Wars. And, I'm a huge fan of Star Wars. But I think the thing that stuck out to me that I thought was really great, because with the whole Star Wars thing, you can kind of tell between who's like a huge, crazy nerd fan for Star Wars or someone that just likes Star Wars or seen it. When I saw the stuff on Disney that she liked, that's something that caught my attention that seemed really real to me. I immediately saw that she went to Disneyland. She liked Disney movies. I grew up with Disney movies, grew up going to Disneyland and loved Disney. And that really sparked my interest. I think that the fact that she'd seen Star Wars before sparked my interest, and I thought she was a genuine person just from her Instagram and Facebook. And so I was like, okay, she seems like someone maybe I would want to talk to or get to know a little bit. And so then I got this message, like as I was going through all this stuff, a week or two after I figured out who she was, this message came along. And right before that, I was thinking, I should actually message this person to see,
Didn't you actually ask your mom and your sister if you should write me?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
That's what your mom says, but anyway.
Oh. No, but there is one thing. So before the message came in, I realized who she was and then went to church and I saw her, and then I put two and two together and I was like, that's her then. And then she was walking out of church and I happened to see her from the left side, right? So she's coming out, I'm looking this way, right? And as she's walking, it's like, I'm trying to think of a reference, but probably Wonder Woman. Do you know Wonder Woman in the new Wonder Woman where the Amazons come out and they look really tall? That's what it was like, but in slow motion, She was walking and it's slow motion, but I was almost looking up. She looked 6 feet tall, like an Amazon woman. That's just walking by in church, and I was like, okay, I did not know she was that tall. She literally looked 6 feet tall. Like I was like, holy crap.
Side note, I was wearing 6-inch heels.
Yeah, I was like, this girl's tall, my God. And that was the first time I actually saw her that I remember. Then the next week was the message, and then it came out of nowhere because obviously you don't know when messages are going to come in. And I see the message, and I was like, oh, you know. Well, one, I thought it was hilarious. The first question was like, are you going to be at church this weekend?
Sunday.
And I was like, yeah. And then she said something like, good.
I don't
Okay.
know how to flirt.
Okay. And I was like, alrighty. So then.
No, I said, I'll see you then. Don't be scared to talk
Oh
to me.
yeah. Oh yeah. Then she goes. Oh yeah. Don't be scared to talk to me. And I'm thinking the first message to me was I may be an introvert, and I definitely consider myself to be an introvert with like extrovert tendencies. We'll get into that later. But it totally made me laugh because I was like, here's this person that I feel like might be somewhat shy, and then tells me if I'm not scared. I'm like, what?
Mind you,
Okay.
I had help.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know there was a team on the other end. There was just me on my end. And so I thought that was hilarious that she said, if I'm scared. I'm like, okay, I think we know who's scared here. So I wrote back, I sent an emoji, and I didn't know how to send, I didn't know what the emoji meant. So I sent it, and I was like,
Oh crap.
I sent it, I was like, oh shoot, how do I take this thing back? And I was like, I just sent an emoji and I don't even know what it means.
It was literally one of those big, huge, like...
It was like a big head one, and I was
No,
like...
it was a big head one with, like, cool guy glasses.
Yeah.
Mind you, from my end, it felt like it totally belonged. He was trying to be, like, all sly and slick, but no, he butt dialed it, basically.
No, I hit it, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I don't even know what it means. And then after that, I was like, scratch that. And I probably meant scratch that emoji, but let's scratch both of them, you know? And I said, scratch that, let's just meet up. And then you said, yeah.
I said yes, yeah.
Yeah, and then that was it on the messaging. But then after that, I remember this, okay, no, now it's all coming back to me. You know, like Celine Dion, that song, all coming back to me. But I remember after that being like, okay, now I gotta do my research. I gotta really check this out. I think we had a lot of common interests, and I wanted to meet her just to get to know her and see where it went, and honestly just to see if the things on social media was real, was how she really felt. Because I knew with the Disney stuff that she was genuinely, she grew up with it and she loved it. It was obvious. And I saw you know, trips to Disneyland. Okay, so mind you, backstory. My Facebook and her Facebook and my Instagram and her Instagram, totally different. I barely had anything on Instagram, and
Yeah.
I had some stuff on Facebook, but it wasn't really filled. She like had a photograph / video biography on her Facebook and Instagram. It was like, you can get to know me virtually because there were just moments in there. There were trips and all
Random
like
videos of
basically
lip singing.
her life was on social media literally.
Yep.
And I was like, I feel like I know this person, but then it's gonna be so weird to meet you because I feel like I already know you. So our first meeting, I remember thinking, I feel like I already know you, and it's like we've met before, but we haven't actually talked. It was like that weird feeling where you're like, I don't want to say I know you because I know it's the first actual time we're talking and meeting, but your whole life was on social media, so I checked it out. But I didn't say any of that actually. But I remember before meeting up that I didn't feel that nervous because I felt good about it. I didn't feel like, you know, on a blind date where like, I don't know anything about this person and this could end really badly and it's so awkward. I didn't feel that at all. I didn't feel awkward at all. I felt like this could be interesting. And I just was so glad that I actually, for the first time, felt comfortable going into the first date because I felt like I already knew her. And I was like, it's not like, what are you into? I already know. But then what was hilarious was you go into the date and you're like, I don't know you and your interests, but I know your interests because I happen to be checking you out on Facebook and Instagram.
With that note, I think we've gotten to the point where we set up our first date, and then so now our first date. So now we're just gonna go into when we met in person. So on our first date. So for me, I was super nervous. Now, fun fact, I was actually wearing this exact shirt on our first date. Literally the whole day I was trying to pick out the perfect outfit, do my hair right. Now, mind you, when Jason met me, I was a platinum blonde. My hair was not dark.
Oh,
I was blonde.
Man. Yeah. Oh, I just thought of that side story too, real quick. Okay, fast forward. Pretend we're not talking about the first date, but fast forward and we're actually in a relationship. My grandma.
That's awesome.
My grandma had met her in the very beginning, and she had blonde hair. Fast forward like a couple months later, right?
It was like a week later.
Okay, it was like a couple weeks. It was a couple weeks later. Like, my grandma was around again the second time. She sees Ashley, says hi to her, right? Like 20 minutes later, she comes over to me. She like taps me on the shoulder, and she goes, I said hi to your girl. She goes, another new one, huh? I was like, she's all, I covered for you though. I covered for you. And I was like, Graham, you're awesome. No, it's the same girl. She just dyed her hair. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad. Why would you bring two different girls within like 2 weeks of each other? I was like, I didn't. It's the same girl, I swear. At least I think so.
Dude, I love your grandma. She's freaking awesome.
Yeah, so.
If you want to know a little bit more about Jason's grandma's personality, go watch Golden Girls. Sophia totally reminds me of his grandma.
It is true. I love Sophia.
Her. I love her.
She's amazing.
But anyways, back to what we were talking about. That day, I was super nervous. I literally was like texting all my friends, figuring out what I was going to wear, texting our sister-in-law, and just panicking, had the meat sweats and everything.
At the disco.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah. And that night, we meet up around like 7 o'clock at night. And at Starbucks.
Yes. Yep.
And I'm like, okay, what the hell am I gonna order? Like, to be honest, that was like my first legit like coffee date ever. And I was like, okay, crap. What do you do? Do you order coffee? Do you order a scone? What do you do? Like, okay.
I didn't find this out until later. So
yeah. And then, so I get there, and I'm like, okay, where is he? He must be late. He's probably not coming. Like, I went from, like, oh, he's late to, like, not coming in, like, a matter of minutes. Like, I was so freaking out. Anyway, so then, like, 2 minutes after I'm starting to freak out, he shows up, and looking really handsome, by the way, wearing blue, which, funny enough, we were matching.
Well, yeah, my favorite color is blue. Her favorite color is blue. That was a fly.
But yeah, no, it was, I liked his outfit. And I wish he still had that shirt because it looked really good on him.
Yeah, I have to find it.
But anyway, so we introduce each other. I'm like really nervous and he can tell. He told me he can tell.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Yeah, I could tell.
I give him like this weird like side hug.
No, it was like the hug,
like the
you know,
church hug.
like yeah, but from far away, but like your first half of your body's close, but the second half is far away.
Yeah.
So you're like that kind of thing, right? And then we did the shake a little bit, and then go ahead.
Anyways,
We did the shake.
So anyways, we order our drinks, we sit down, and we just start talking, and I felt comfortable, and I'm really standoffish when it's talking to guys. Like I'm very awkward, and like I said in the other video, I'm a really big introvert, so I don't.
Yeah, she tried to seduce me with her awkwardness.
Yeah, which it worked. Anyway, so we sit down and we start talking. We start talking about our interests, like what our favorite colors are, our middle names, our Disney, like our favorite Disney movies, our Disney characters, favorite part of Disneyland, childhood memories, favorite holidays. Like we talked about everything. You name it, you say it, we talked it.
We talked it. And
so then we're deep in conversations. We start getting to like deeper questions. And mind you, this was 6 years ago. I'm paraphrasing some of the stuff we talked about because, to be honest, I don't really remember half of the stuff we talked about because it was so long. But we talked for a good while, and my phone was blowing up and going off. Jason's phone was blowing up and going off. Like, it to be honest, it felt like we were in a totally different world, and it was just us there talking. But
which pretty much was. There wasn't a lot of people in Starbucks that day.
No, it was when we first got there. But when, it's to the point where the barista literally came up to us and was like, yeah, it's 10 o'clock. We're closing. You guys have to leave now. And I'm like, oh crap, we're getting kicked out of Starbucks. Like, how do we, like, what's going on? Like, is that a bad thing or a good thing? I'm starting to freak out at that point. Mm-hmm. And then, so before we go, I awkwardly asked Jason to take a picture with me.
Oh yeah, I was like,
because one, my friends like saw the messages, but they didn't believe that it was actually happening, so I needed proof that was happening.
I thought it was totally weird. I was like,
but he still took it, and he's very glad that we did.
Well, my first reaction was like, what?
Anyways,
and then the second reaction was, is this the last picture I'm gonna take? What the heck?
Anyways, after I took that random selfie with him, we said our goodbyes, and then I called our sister-in-law because she kept blowing up my phone, and I told her how it went, and like that we were possibly going to set up a second one the next day. And she's like, okay, cool. And then she then tells me, she goes, Jason's on the phone with his brother. And I was like, oh, wow, okay.
I remember that.
So that's
I actually
funny.
remember that.
That's funny. But anyway, so that's my side of the date.
Yeah, so I'll take it back from when we first met up. So I met her at the Starbucks, and I knew immediately that she was nervous, and that when we went to order drinks, I just, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a water or something, or maybe I did get a coffee.
No, you got the strawberry.
Strawberry, oh yeah, strawberry banana protein shake.
They don't make it anymore.
No, and then I remember her looking at me like, kind of confused, like, should I get something? How does this work? And then she ended up getting, did you get the scone?
No, I got an iced coffee.
Yeah.
No, I got a frappuccino, so like the caramel frappuccino that I got you into.
Okay. So she got that, and we sat down, and we just started getting into it. Like she said, just what was it like growing up? Watching Disney movies, going to Disneyland. How many times have you been? What's your favorite ride? And what's your favorite, Disney cartoon, classic movie, all this stuff. And we talked about movies that we'd seen, Star Wars, and we just went kind of on and on and on, where I know, depending on the date or something like that, it can get, one, awkward, two, you can run out of things to say, it can get silent, it gets crazy, as you know, and it can get to the point where you're like, I want to get out of here. How do I transition out of here? But it just was very organic and just flowed. There was never a point where I was like, okay, this isn't working. Because it just naturally moved forward. And I think we were in there 3 hours. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, about 3 hours. And literally we were still talking, we were still getting to know each other. And that's when we got the barista being like,
the boot.
Yeah, so we're closing. And then I was kind of shocked, like, what time is it? But I remember her phone going off because she had the cover on her phone of Doctor Who. And it was literally
the TARDIS.
Like, so it's sitting on the table, right? And every time it went off, it's like flashing in your eyes, like, and
I had it on silent.
Yeah, but it was the flashing one. I was like, what is that? And I didn't know what the TARDIS was. She's like, oh, that's the TARDIS. And I was like, what?
I got him into Doctor Who.
Anyway, I didn't know what Doctor Who was. But anyway, so it went really well. And then of course, then she dropped the bomb of like, yeah, I don't think we should do this again.
I did not
I think
say
we
that.
should do this again. And I was like, did not see that coming. Just turn to the page like, what the heck
No,
just
I think
happened?
your brother actually told you that, like.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't know. I was like,
But when you were on the phone with your brother, I think he cleared it up for you.
no, I think he did, but I
Because
remember.
I was on the phone with the ladies.
I remember thinking this is gonna be a great story because everything went well, man. And then all of a sudden she's like, second date? Nah. Just like that. And you're like,
To be honest,
All
I
right,
didn't
it's
think
so
he was
confusing.
going to ask me on a second date.
well, and I don't even think I think I did, but I didn't. I just said, we should meet up again or something like
No,
that.
you said, let's meet up tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow?
Oh, no, that's what I said. I said, what are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's how it all, I didn't say, let's go on a second date. I said, what
Yeah,
are you
but
doing
then
tomorrow?
implied.
It did, and then you implied, I'm not hanging out with you.
No, I said, I don't know what I'm
Hanging
doing
out with you.
tomorrow. That's exactly what I said. I said, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. Let me check.
Yeah, no, I know. And then I was like, yeah, let me check too.
Anyways.
But no, it went really well, besides that confusing part. But yeah, and then we kind of went from there.
And then it went from random side hugs to married with 2 kids.
That's right.
And that was 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then I show, the good news is, the silver lining of it all is, now I show Annie and I say, look, when you grow up and you like a guy, you give him the half side hug, put your second half of your body behind you, that way he knows you don't like him because you're gonna be a nun.
Anyways. And the second date, if you want to hear about the second date, it's a very juicy story.
Juicy.
Jason's GPS literally took us into the ocean. If you want to hear that story,
Oh my god.
it was very funny. But it's a funny story now.
Yeah. Almost wasn't funny. It was good. I honestly went with my instinct on that one to go.
Well, then you didn't tell the family that I was an exception.
Oh, yeah. Complete exception. I was not about that. When I was looking at dating, I was thinking of an age range, and she definitely didn't fit into that age range, which I was very hesitant about.
I'm technically his age range now.
No, you've been in my age range for
the
a
last
while.
like 2 years.
Yeah, that was originally what I thought, yeah. So, yeah, I was thinking 25 plus is what I was thinking as far as age. Have you ever seen this movie, He's Just Not That Into You? There's a part towards the end where he says that you're my exception, And then I told her that, and she has never let it down since.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I told her that she was the exception to the rule.
And if you didn't, you wouldn't have your 2 awesome children and the life you're living right now. So, you're welcome.
True story.
But with that note, we're going to end the vlog there. I hope you guys liked our little story time.
Yeah, I did, because I
relived it.
relived it and kind of didn't remember some stuff, but it's all coming back to me.
And I'll post some like throwbacks that date on
Yeah.
Instagram because we literally, actually, funny enough, we actually went back a year later to the same Starbucks.
That's right.
At the same time.
Same place, same barista, same floor,
Actually,
tables, chairs.
It was the same barista.
Yeah, he remembered us.
It was awesome. But no, and we actually took kind of impromptu engagement pictures that day.
Yeah.
Your sister did.
Yeah.
And we'll post them on Instagram. But with that said,
I think that's it for us.
yeah, remember, family, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell to become part of the
bell.
family. Until then, have a family-filled day, and we'll talk to you in our next video.
All right.
See you later.